So last class we were discussing about non-static members. We got clarity on what is non-static member, why non-static member, when to create a member as a non-static member, how many non-static members we have, which non-static member we should use at what time, we got clarity. And then we try to understand when all these non-static members are provided memory, when object is created. What is object creation statement? Object creation statement is class name referenced variable name equal to new class name. Then now this is just a variable creation part, and this is object creation part we discussed. Very important point. After new keyword, class name parenthesis, that is called constructor calling statement. Okay, people are feeling it is just a class name. It is not class name, it is constructor calling statement. Please write on that point. Yesterday you have not written this. It is a constructor calling. Write on that. Now try to answer. I'm taking one small class called example. Here example E1 equal to new example. I have assumed there is a class called example. Here this example is class name. Understand? Here example is class name. E1 is referenced variable name or object name. E1 is not object. Generally people consider E1 is an object. No, E1 is not object. E1 is just a variable. Of what type? Example. If I write int I1 equal to 10, I1 is not an object. I1 is just a variable of what type? Int, meant for storing int type value. E1 is a variable of what type? Example. It is meant for storing example class value. Example class value is nothing but example class object. Is it clear? Now E1 is just reference variable, or you can call it as object name, must not call it as object. Then equal to new example. Observe, new is a keyword, it's okay. Here there are the two things you have to understand. Example is a class name and parenthesis is a constructor. Tell me, in parenthesis, am I writing any arguments here? No. That means it is a no param constructor of example class. It is a no param constructor call of which class? Example class. Example E1 equal new example when you write. What the meaning of it? New example parenthesis. It is a constructor call. Okay. Is everyone understand? So it is object creation part. Here non-static variables in class example are allocated memory, and non-static blocks and no param constructor logic is executed from class example. Okay, please write on this one for example. Completed. Now here, write a statement. What is this? No param. Constructor call. From which class? Example class. Okay, shall we go to next point? Okay, now let's move to the next point. Now, what are the different steps involved in an object creation? Okay, I'm planning to create an object. Just now I told you in the previous statement, if you take this line background is executing what do you call non-static variables memory created, non-static blocks logic executed, constructor logic executed, here reference variable memory created. So what are the steps involved in an object creation? In every object creation, we have 4 steps. Okay, right now, 4 steps involved in an object creation. 4 steps involved in an object creation. Four steps involved in an object creation. Write down these 4 steps. Okay, 4 steps involved in an object creation. What are the 4 steps? First step is example E1. This is referenced variable creation. Okay. This is referenced variable declaration. Example E1 referenced variable declaration. New keyword, new keyword. This is instance creation. Okay. This is a new instance creation, class instantiation. Okay. And next, this is constructor call. Okay. This is constructor call is object initialization. Okay. And next, this is new keyword returning object reference, returning object reference. So totally how many steps are there? 4 steps. Okay. Completed the 4 steps. Okay, let us understand what the meaning of reference variable declaration. Let us try to understand all 4 steps. First up, reference variable declaration. In reference variable declaration, what happened? The statement example E1 is executed. Then the memory for E1 variable is allocated without any default value as shown below, right? You know it very well. E1 of memory variable chapter already we discussed. Now, when a variable doesn't contain any default value, if it is a local variable, right? If it is a local variable. Now tell me. If we declare the reference variable E1 at a class level, either as static reference variable or as non-static reference variable, its memory is created with default value null. Okay. If we create reference variable inside a method, no default value. If we create reference variable at class level, we'll get default value null. Write on this. Completed. Completed? Shall I go next one? Look at here. Can you understand it? In class instantiation, who is executing new keyword? Creating new instance or new object from a class is called class instantiation. In a class instantiation, new keyword is executed. New instance is created with non-static variables memory. Those are declared inside the class from which we are creating object. Okay. New keyword, what it will do? It allocates memory. All those non-static variables are initially initialized with default values based on their data type as shown below. Based on their data type. Assume x and y variables are int data type. Default values 0, 0 will come. Okay. If class is not yet loaded, first of all, new keyword loads the class into JVM, allocates memory to static variables with the default values, executes static block and initializes all static variables with the given values. Okay. After class loading, static variables and static blocks or execution has completed. After class loading, very important. If you want to create object of example class, first of all, what you need to do? First class should be loaded into JVM. Then only we can create object, right? So new keyword first, loading the class, and then static variable, static blocks execution completed. Then class instantiation will be started as shown above. Okay, please write on this. Completed, buddy? Shall go next point. After new keyword, what will be executed? Constructor is executed. After new keyword, constructor is executed. What is the job of constructor? Initializing object. Third step, object initialization. In object initialization, constructor is executed. After instance is created, new keyword invokes constructor by passing current object reference. This constructor's internal logic will initialize current instance with given values. So 0, 0 replace with given values 10, 20 by constructor. Okay, write on this. Completed, buddy? Now last step is what? After constructor execution completed, after object initialization completed, then the reference of the object must store in E1 variable. Na? The new keyword return the reference 1010 and store it in E1 variable pointing to it. Okay, look at here. Returning object reference. In returning object reference, new keyword returns the current object reference and stores in the assigned referenced variable E1. Then the referenced variable E1 starts pointing or referencing this object as follows. Then further, by using this reference variable E1, we can access non-static variable and non-static method from this object. Okay. Completed, buddy? Shall I go next point? Now the question. We can create object only by using no param constructor. Can I create object by using parameter constructor also? Yes. By passing arguments also we can do. We'll see this point later. Okay, now let me put all these points in one diagram, okay? Let me combine all these points in one diagram. I have a class example, int x into y, and constructor we have x equal to 50, y equal to 60. And now observe, here I wanted to provide memory to this x and y. I should create object. To create object, I need to use new keyword and constructor. Example E1 equal to new keyword and constructor. Tell me, can I use only new keyword to create object? No. Can I use only constructor to create object? No. I must use both new keyword and constructor together, then only object is created. In object creation, new keyword role is providing memory to non-static variables with the default value. The role of constructor is storing given values inside that non-static variables and completing object initialization. So new keyword job is object creation and the constructor job is object initialization. Okay, now? Right. Example E1 is, once again tell me, it is not object creation part. That means it is just referenced variable creation. That means what do you call non-static variable, non-static blocks and constructor logic not executed here. Whereas new example is object creation part. It means selection will create, this selection will create memory for non-static variable default value with and given values. Okay, so how many steps are running? 4 steps. Example E1, E1 variable memory created, new keyword instance is created, and return the reference 1010, constructor called, then what happened? Constructor logic executed, then according to logic, x value, y value stored in xy variable 0, 0, 50, 50, 60, then control return to calling method, in constructor calling place. Now control return to new keyword. Now the new keyword return the reference to E1 stored in E1 variable pointing to it. Okay. So this is the complete diagram in one statement. Okay. Can you write now? Below diagram shows all 4 points. Below diagram shows all 4 steps in single program. All above 4 steps at one place. Below diagram shows all above 4 steps in one place. First step, variable created. So second step, object is created with a reference tender. Return reference. Pass the reference to constructor, calling constructor by passing reference. Then next, constructor call, control go into constructor. Then reference 1010 passed. With the reference help, constructor will initialize this object. Okay. Then construct logic completed, control return to calling place to the new keyword. New keyword return 1010 stored in E1 variable. Pointing to it. E variable store 1010 pointing to it. Okay, hope you all understand. Okay, can you please answer now? What is the job of new keyword and what the job of constructor? Yeah, what the job of new keyword? Responsibilities of new keyword and constructor. New keyword is responsible to perform 4 operations. Number 1, loading the class, allocating memory to static variables and executing static blocks if class is not yet loaded. Next, creating new instance. This first step is not mandatory, optional. If not loaded, it will load, okay? Creating new instance with non-static variables memory with the default values based on their data type. This is the actual second step onwards, actual story starts. New keyword actual job starts. Creating new instance with the non-static variables memory with the default values based on their data type. Third step, invoking the constructor for initializing object with given values. Finally, after constructor execution, return object reference. Okay, na? And what the role of constructor? Constructor is only initialization. That is wrong thought. Constructor totally doing 3 operations. It's not only doing initialization, it's totally performing 3 operations. First operation, if you want to create object, who is creating object? New keyword. To the new keyword, object information must give na. With to the new keyword, class information should give. Class name and constructor name is same, right? Why class name and constructor name is same? To give class information to new keyword, to which class object must be created. To which class object must be created. So first step it is doing what? First step what is doing? It creating it giving information of class to giving class information to new keyword for creating new instance from this class. Second step is you don't understand, but still you try to accept. Invoking superclass constructor for initializing superclass non-static variables in this object. Invoking superclass constructor for initializing superclass non-static variables in this object. Okay. Finally, initializing current class non-static variables in this object. You have seen third step and first step. Second step in the coming classes you are going to see. So constructor totally performs 3 operations. Okay, na? Write down this. Responsibilities of new keyword and constructor. Guys, completed? Still writing? Okay, complete. I'll wait. Yeah. Hope completed. Now, can you answer these questions? I want you to answer these questions. Who will create object of a class? New keyword or constructor? New keyword. Who will initialize object with the default values? Who will initialize object with the default values? You are seeing only the word initialize, not seeing the word default value. Default values, new keyword. Who will initialize object with the given values? Constructor. Who will return object reference? Who will return object reference? Who will return object reference? New keyword. Write down these 4 questions. Completed? Okay, there is a confusion in the market. Only me and Sun Micro system telling that object is reference is written by new keyword. Me and Sun Micro system who invented Java, who teaching Java, telling that new keyword. Remaining entire world is telling that constructor will return object reference. If you want to return some value, you should write logic na. If you want to return some value from the method, you should write some logic. Tell me in the constructor, where did you write the returning logic? Okay, if I want to return, first of all, I should create something, right? Factory manufacturing the goods. So from the factory, goods will be returned to showroom. Showroom is not returning. Showroom is not creating. Showroom is receiving. Factory is creating. Tell me, who creating object? New keyword. Constructor receiving the object reference from new keyword. Then constructor receiving the object with the help of that reference, it is initializing object and control return back to calling place new keyword. Then new keyword return object reference. Constructor will not return object reference. Constructor implicit return type is void. Constructor doesn't contain any return type implicitly. Implicit return type of the constructor is void. So complete world except Sun Microsystem and Hari Krishna, everyone is telling that constructor return current object reference. Its implicit return type is current class. Implicit return type is current class. Example space example parenthesis. That is wrong. Constructor implicit return type is void. Okay, prove that new keyword returns object reference but not constructor. Answer: constructor implicit return type is void, so constructor cannot return any value. Inside constructor, we didn't write any logic to return object reference. And moreover, constructor is not creating object, new keyword is creating object. Then what is the return type of constructor? Constructor implicit return type is void, not current class. Prove that constructor return type is not current class. Prove that a constructor implicit return type is void. Okay, simple program we can write to prove that point. Look at here. I am writing a class called example. This M1 method return type is void. If it is a void, if I write return value semicolon, will it work or will not work? It will not work. Compiler throw error. Because return type void, returning 5 not allowed. M2 method return type is int. Can I return value 5? Yes. Now here M3 method return type is example. Then what I can return? I can return example class object. Now tell me, this is a constructor. Everyone telling implicit return type is example. If implicit return type is example, I can write new example. Now observe, you will get compiled errors here. Here and here you will get compiled error. Unexpected return value. Incompatible types, unexpected return value. Incompatible types, unexpected return value. Okay, you cannot return value from constructor because implicit return type of constructor is void. So I am commenting it and I am commenting it. Okay, now tell me, there is no compiled error in this program. Now if you read bytecode, I want to read bytecode. Okay, if I read bytecode, Java P hyphen verbose option, this is constructor. Look at their constructor descriptor is what? Integer parameter. Return type is void. This is a constructor. No parameter. Return type is void. It is method. No parameter. No parameter. Return type is example. It is M2 method. No parameter. Return type is I. I stands for int. It is M1 method. No parameter. Return type is void V. So tell me, however, the descriptor created for void method, same way the descriptor created for constructor also, return type of this method is what? Void. Everyone understand that? So final discussion is, now I want you to write this question. Prove that constructor doesn't create object. Prove that constructor return type is void. Prove that constructor doesn't return current object reference. Prove that current object reference is written by new keyword. So these are the two steps. If constructor can create object, new keyword is not required now. Because we are using new keyword in an object creation process. Hence we can say new keyword is responsible for creating object and constructor is responsible for initializing object. Okay. Next second step. To prove constructor return type is void, inside constructor body, place return semicolon, will not get any compiled error. Place return 5 semicolon, will get compiled error, cannot return a value from a method whose result type is void or unexpected return value. Next, read bytecode by using the command java p hyphen verbose. You will find constructor return type is void in a descriptor as descriptor parenthesis v. V stands for void. Right on this slide. Yeah, all people completed. Fine. So this is the today class story. Whatever you have learned in today class, expecting all the people practice by heart the theory, everything. Tomorrow, I'm going to launch the execution flow of all the non-static members by following these 4 steps. What did we discuss in today class? Can you tell me the heading of today class? Non-static members. Guys, are you there? What is the heading of today class? What did you learn in today class? Today class heading is the 4 steps involved in an object creation, new keyword and constructor responsibilities. Okay, that is the heading. Non-static members topic completed yesterday. Today topic is new topic. The 4 ways of creating object and new keyword and constructor responsibilities. Okay, tomorrow we'll see non-static members execution flow. Don't miss tomorrow class. Thank you everyone. Practice and come.